Greetings, everyone. Welcome. We are taking advantage of Wizards of the Coast offering us some free drafts here of Kaladesh Remastered. I say drafts plural because I have multiple accounts I'm running, and each account you have can get one of these here drafts. And I enjoy this more than Amonkhet Remastered so far. But I enjoyed Kaladesh more than Amonkhet, so this is no surprise here. Hey, Batmeme. Welcome. Batmeme's catching it live today. And all you YouTube friends, remember, 9 a.m. Pacific, Monday through Friday, if you want to catch me live. I love it when YouTube friends show up and give a wave. And I want to thank everybody here again who donated to the charity event that Card Kingdom / Mox Boarding House ran under their charity arm called Gamers Engaged. Gamers Engaged does an annual team-based gauntlet where a bunch of different teams from the gaming community, be they game makers, streamers, personalities, that type of thing, they get together, they battle, and they raise money for charity. And we raised money for Young Women Empowered, and thanks to my awesome viewers and awesome friends and family who also helped out a lot when I made the call. I was the #1 fundraiser for the event individually. I think Bungie, the company, raised like 70,000 or something. So I failed to beat Bungie, the company, but on every individual contributor level, we were #1. So pat yourselves on the back, chat. Anybody who helped make that happen, if you threw some change at this event, you get one of these. Well done. Burke, Burke Glops is a YouTube friend catching live. Good to have you. Welcome. And speaking of, that's my sponsor, by the way, Card Kingdom. You know, one of the many reasons I love them is their charitable outreach, and had a great time with that. But if you need any cardboard and you want those charitable outreach efforts to continue, you might consider making Card Kingdom your primary source of MTG cardboard and supplies and singles and sealeds and all that. And you can check them out via my affiliate link, and then they know you got there from here. Helps keep me on the air, and then we keep drafting together. It's a good system. Good system. Get the draft view here. And let's see, where are we at? I mean, I wish I had some great tips for you on the format, but it's really just trying to remember what was good and not so good about the original formats and relearning it. But we'll talk about it. Heart is good, but the Crew 3 is real. And the second, the bottom ability, you may remove a loyalty counter rather than pay the crew cost. Not really relevant for limited, but having a 2-mana Sarah Angel is pretty nice. So, and it's also colorless. That's a thing to keep in mind. So other cards that, wow, this is actually a very good pack. Ether Chaser is great. Cloud Blazer is great. Flying Infra, this is fine. Pioneer I like, but it's not first pick. Hunt the Weak is great. Swooper, all these two drop energy token makers are generally pretty good. But I think I'm going to go Kieran, not because it's amazing or mythic or whatever, but because it's colorless. We can go anywhere from here. So let's take a wide open first pick that is maybe a slight notch below some of the other cards in that pack in terms of like expected win rate or whatever. But as a first pick, this is fine because it's going to go in any deck with any reasonable creature presence, and then it's going to be fine. Yeah, Druid ramp is just good. If you can get ahead on curve, that's fine. And 1/3 blocks, 1/3 blocks. Crane, we passed one in the first pack, right? So we could take Crane and try to do the thing. But you really got to do the thing. I mean, I don't like the Crane unless, I'd rather wheel them and see if we have a means towards it. But yeah, I like the Druid. The Judge is a good payoff. The Tank, not so good. Again, it's a Crew 3. We've already got a Crew 3 vehicle. I'm not going to take another one at this point. I think I do like the ramp. I'm going to take the ramp. Meltdown is reasonable removal. I'm going to put a hold on that one as we check the rest of the stuff, but probably Ether Chaser better. So that's my switch to there. This is my least favorite of the of these 2-drops because they don't make servos. Dragster underperformed, so I'm not interested in that. I really, what's this? It's not Barricade Breaker. It really is, for me, Meltdown or Chaser. And Chaser, the format, as I recall, is pretty aggro, or the original formats. I don't know how this one is, but we're only one match in. But Chaser is it's just great. It's a 2-1 that adds, that basically for no extra cost, you get to throw in, and 2-1 first strike, and you get to throw in a 1-1. It's very nice. Very nice. And we'll take the Chaser here over Hunt, because reliably getting one of these down on turn 2. I mean, I don't know if 17 lands has the data yet, but I wonder what the win rate is for Ether Chaser when in opening hand. All right. Renegade is interesting. It's a bear with some upside, and you can do things like bounce a Chaser, replay it, get more energy, and get another token. But Subtle Strike, as we saw yesterday, is really excellent interaction. It's like, oh, sorry, it's Mechanic is what I was thinking about. What is this one? This is, sorry, I was describing Mechanic when I was looking at Renegade, but they're right next to each other. And yeah, this is well enough, right? But Revolt can be hard to make happen. I adore a Subtle Strike. I'm going to take it. Interesting. White looking open with Pioneer and Privileges. I think we take a Privilege over a Renegade map or a Wild Wanderer, but this fixes too. Wanderer is not the worst. Fenner, you've been map easily. Weren't you map easily yesterday on stuff too? I mean, I like it, but I don't know about map easily. Yeah, we don't know our colors at all. Exactly. That's why I want to take powerful removal spells and then figure out what colors we're in. Oh, well, there you go. Media and Fenner are into the map, but I'm into figuring out where our colors are. I don't prioritize the map quite as highly as Fenner and Media, apparently. Here's one we could take, though. What's the cost here? There's an Infiltrator. This is quite playable because of the artifact thing. There's so many servos flying around or walking around that you would think that you don't want a 3-1, but the 3-1s can't block that. And Foundry Inspector works the artifact angle too. It's kind of interesting. I think I want to, like, yeah, I kind of like take the Foundry Inspector and try to cast Renegade maps for free. It's close though. And on that, oh wow, welding, what? Okay, nobody knows how to draft this format yet because red is so open I don't even know what to do with myself. Like 3 Chasers was going to be a fist pump. It's like song of the week, song of the day coming through. But yeah, we're going to take Welding Sparks. I don't know what you mean exactly, Fenor, that removal is overrated. I mean, it probably is in the sense that everybody... Pick 9! And the Crane did come back. We could have done that thing, but we're chasing. We're just going to chase. This is fine, too, in the red decks. Especially, like, this is actually very good for where we're headed. Foundry Inspector plus lots of great red is a great deck for the Weldfast Monitor. So bad. 3x a bolt. Come on. It doesn't even go to face. Pfft. You're right. I wish I could take this back. Construct. We hope not to play this, but you can do worse. Especially when you're doing the Weldfast Monitor Foundry Inspector thing. I should also, I don't know if that was a case for it. We really want to look for 3-powered creatures. We want a single creature crewing of Heart of Kiran. So let's keep that in mind as well. Probably not playing this, but with if we get seriously into this artifact realm, we could. I'm not taking Puzzle Knot. Rebel is... Wow, even this is good. Like, this is great. Like, Spireside Infiltrator, what a last pick for this deck. It is a 3-power creature that deals our opponent 1 damage to Crew the Heart. Love it. So now we're definitely red, and red is wide open. We're really just looking for our other color. Rhino makes some sense. We do have the Druid, which we really like. Brawler, we could just take. I mean, I'm just feeling like, well, I guess, Fenner, what I was thinking is that red is so wide open, and if we're wheeling Welding Sparks, we're probably wheeling a Brawler. But also, I should probably not risk it, because this is very good for this deck. Yeah, I love the Rhino, and I think that's the correct consideration after just taking the red card. Outland Boar could keep us going towards green-red. We've got another Constrictor that we can't... I'm not taking it this time, but why not just take... I mean, removal's overrated, but... Fenner, are you serious? No, we're taking this. We're going to wheel this anyway. I mean, nobody's playing red. Nobody's taking a red-green. Should we bet? How can I bet with Fenor? Like, I bet this wheels. Or yeah, let's bet with the community. Quick, someone throw up a will that wheel question, and just let's do a yes/no on that. I'm on yes, it'll wheel. Rhino here looks good, especially for hoping to wheel that green-red. I think we can cut this. Probably not playing the P-Foul. The Subtle Strike at this point. Oh yeah, we found the Lane Gang. I like Attune. I like Blossoming Defense, but we're going to take the Barada. Talking about a revolution. Sounds like a whisper. Onslaught or Revolution? Which? I think we take Onslaught. Broaden the removal, sweet, and this is a good one. You like Revolution over Onslaught? I mean, gang, Harness Lightning versus Ether Chaser, pick 7. Is this pack 1, pick 1, or pack 2, pick 7? Speedway Fanatic, nice too. Crew up the heart, but Lightning so good, right? Sculptor for a green 2, or another Infiltrator for a good crew creature. That's the choice. Seed Sculptor can take one of our... I'm going to take the cheaper card, because I also think we're going to wheel another one of those anyway. But Sculptor can take like a 2-drop and make it a single crew of the heart as well. Yeah, I like a Destructive Tampering. Did I board? Yeah, we don't have one yet, but hopefully we get one before it's over. There we go. That's the one I was thinking about. And we're looking to wheel the Boar next pick. Yeah, I still probably should just take the Appetite, but this is the wheel I was expecting. Yeah, actually, I'm with you. I think our creature count. Where's that? Well, our creature count is okay. Well, oh well, too late, but that's fine. Oh, maybe this is the one I was thinking about anyway. We have enough artifact creatures. We could just take the Smash, Claim. We're not so. Oh man, you got me. Didn't wheel the Boar. Well, I'll give you... Your channel points come in the form of... you can decide all the bling today, Fenor. You choose nobody redeem... I'll reject any bling redemptions, and Fenrir gets to choose lands, sleeves, and box today. Look at this, though. Right lane or what? We could take a map to potentially splash, and also, again, it does help with a brawler. And I don't like the other two very much. More removal. But maybe just Outrider? Because of our removal strength? And our lack of 4s? I mean, we have Onslaught, Sparks, Flames, Lightning. So we got 4 quality pieces of removal, and we're low on... and we'll get more. I mean, I don't want to necessarily stop at 4, but we got the whole pack. And I'm going to go with what my deck needs the most right now out of this pack, and I think that's a high-quality 4-drop. Really weak pack for our team. Another map is not unplayable, but I'll hold it for now. The Barge is okay. Yeah, Hub is also okay. We're going to create some extra energy. Yeah, all right, let's take the Hub. That's fair. If we're going to take fixing, might as well take the Hub over the map, right? Fenrir says, no, take map over the Hub. What I like about the Hub is that we are doing some energy stuff. So if our mana is good, the Hub can add to our Harness Lightning. And if our mana is bad, we can pick off something small with our Harness Lightning and get extra activations from the Hub. And also, of course, the Hub doesn't have any enter-tapped problems. Attune with Ether is excellent. Another Infiltrator, a Prism, also Tiger. So Tiger, Ether, Prism is what I'm looking at. Tiger is a single creature crewing of heart. So if we can't get through on the ground, we can send in Sarah. And since we did pick up a map and we have a Hub, let's take the Beastie. I think we will. This is going to be somewhat of an even split. When we have a brawler, you're not going to. We have 2-drops in green that we want to play on 2, so we're not going to skimp on green. And here's another 2-drop. We played on 2, not amazing, but 2-3 for 2 is just not bad. Renegade map again, sitting here, but yeah, we have a map. I don't know how many we want. We have a map and a brawler. I'm going to go with Seed Sculptor. I don't know, why do we want all these maps, I guess is what I'm asking. Like, I like it, but I don't love it unless I'm really doing a ton of brawlery stuff. If you're doing improvise, if you're like an improvised deck, map is a top priority for me. They replace lands, but they're ETB tapped. They're ETB tapped. They're just ETB tapped lands, and I don't want that many of them. Second El Tigre over Pyrohelix. Yeah, let's take another big end. I like it. I think Scott's right. I would take another one, though, if it came by. I'm going to take a Judge here. Yeah, ETB tap lands that aren't even free. Thank you, Radiantware. It's like, you can't equate map with a land. It is not a land. Like the first one, sure. And here's something splashable. I like this. We now have a reason to splash. Well, if we had more maps, we could splash. Sorry. Do we need to splash, though, honestly? Like, I mean, I'm thinking we don't. Because to splash, we do need to put a swamp in the deck. And why do we need a swamp for removal in this deck? Genius comes back. We're going to take that here. Deck is great. We got hard cuts, so yeah, it seems pretty straightforward to me to cut the splash. Yeah, thanks, Siriana. Good call out to remember that. And I mean, this is, I guess we could take this. We're going to try and have artifacts most of the game. Let's try it. See, here's where you take a damn Renegade map. And I don't think we play it. I think we're on 1. We're especially not splashing. Yeah, you can get down to a really low land count, I'm sure, Fenner, but it also does cost you a lot of early action to do all that, right? Between the maps and the... You're basically spending a mana to play your lands, and it's allowing you to play a lot fewer, but you at least have to acknowledge that there's a real cost to that strategy because you are demanding all of this mana to get your mana sorted out early on. But yeah, I'll play the second map. I think that's fair. Just the artifact synergies alone are worth the second map. But I am not going to back down on all the things that make me think, I don't know. Also, if we play the Apprentice, we want these maps because you can go a map on 1, Apprentice on 1, map on 2 is a reasonable sequence. And, oh, let's get this out. So we cut that. And then we can go, we're going to cut at least 2 lands, probably a third, and go effectively 16. Oops, stop. 6. Whoa. What is going on? What is going on? Hello, Arena. All right. Oh yeah, sorry, let me get out of your way. There you go. I'm just trying to drag this to my land section. Thank you. So now, with this as our baseline, we're talking 5 cuts, and we'll take a look at our creature versus not. Definitely frontline Rebel. Let's look at our numbers. 21 creatures, 10. So we kind of want to cut a couple spells, and I can cut Smash, even though it is going to have some targets. And then we cut definitely the Rebel. And I kind of want to cut one of these Infiltrators because we ended up with a nice suite of 3-powered creatures, including the Rhino, basically. So I'm going to cut an Infiltrator. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Leaves us with 7 3s. That's pretty good because we also have a lot of 2s. Radiantware showing up late to the conversation. Go to the VOD and watch the draft and watch me going back and forth with Fenor about exactly how good this is. You're unsure why we're at 14 lands? Because I think of 16 as the default for best of 1 on Arena at this point. Yeah, they're an Evolving Wilds that costs you a plaza, but has the upside of being artifact for... Wait, so you want to go lower? I don't... Fenor, you were talking about how we're doing this to cut lands, and now you're telling me don't cut lands? Are you trolling me today, Fenor? I don't understand. Not by my count. By my count, that's not cutting lands. I mean, it's cutting lands, but it's, I mean, yeah, you're right, it's cutting lands. It's replacing lands, but you know. Inspector is not discounting much, that's true. Maybe I should just play the other one. I mean, it's not much. The thing is, what's better, another one of these or this? 1 damage when tapped or occasional discounts. Maybe you just cut Construct, and then that really says cut this and put back in this. The main artifact synergy is Apprentice wants one, and we could also cut that. And Genius wants them to enter the battlefield. That's really it, though, right? Nothing else. But like Apprentice, how many sources does it have to become a 2/3 early? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, maybe that's not enough. I think I cut Apprentice. I think Armorcraft Judge is good enough because you. This is fine if you draw 1 card. 1 card in Armorcraft Judge becomes that card from Zendikar Rising, basically the 3/2 draw card, right? So I think we keep the Judge on the strength that they're just going to find 1. One drops has been great and limited for 3 years running. Well, this set came out more than 3 years ago. You know what I mean? This is a remaster of old limited cards. So, all right, I'm going to leave it to chat. My feeling is that, especially low down, like we're pretty low down. Our top end is a couple of 5s, and we have 4 4s. And actually, this isn't even a 4. This is a 3, we hope. So, with this kind of curve and starting hand smoothing, I like leaning towards the 16 over the 17, although I'll acknowledge this. The way the starting hand smoother works, it does not think of Renegade maps as lands. It's not looking at Renegade map and saying, that's part of their mana base, right? So when it's taking a look at your opener, it might see forest map versus another hand of mountain, and give you the mountain hand because it's got 2 lands instead of 1, when actually the hand it discarded was technically more lands, right? So that is one factor that could get me on board the add a land team because it helps us have a more realistic ratio for the smoother. Yeah, it's a good point. Maybe the answer is cut a map and add 1 land back. What about that? I mean, we've been steadily shredding, reducing all of our, and I think the 1 is okay because of the brawler. But let's do that. I think I'm going to settle on that. And Fenor, what are we doing? Very interesting map discussion. Thanks for all your thoughts. I love my chat for their thoughtful takes on things. Oh, thanks, Brick. I got a piece of feedback on that once early on. I'm like, yeah, there's no reason to. We can. It just it's the restrictions breed creativity thing. If we focus on non-spoilery names, it actually helps us be more creative. Renegade chat, I like it. But it needs an exclamation point. I'm glad you lost your bet. Let's see one thing before we get going. I'm monitoring another game I'm playing for a timed thing. Definitely gonna keep that. Yeah, I got it. Trying to stay in 20th place. And I think I'm gonna stay in 20th place till the clock runs out. And let's add those lands. Oh, this is on an account. Sorry, I'll even let you do Fenor the next one. Man, I'm gonna just show you all what's up. Do you remember we have a druid too, gang? I feel like y'all have forgotten. Like you're all talking like me. I've taught you too well. I pushed back against the 16 land in best of one for a little bit, but it's okay. Especially when you have a frickin' druid. Yeah, well, Lord Tup's got a stick up his ass. So there's that. I'll show you. Even if you're all probably right, I'll show you. Oh, sorry, I did the wrong poll. I'll do the right one after. My bad. I'm really down on our chances today. Apparently, my bad. Here you go. Here's the right one. Missing on critters. I think we want to just crack the map. Well, this is one of those spots. Like, if we crack the map, we thin the deck of lands and slightly increase the quality of our draws, but it decreases the quality of drawing the brawler. So that's a thing too. I think I'm going to play this and leave the map intact for right now. I don't like using a Harness Lightning on a Theorist, though. Although, I mean, we're just stacked with removal. Maybe I should. At least let's see what they do here, though. Like, I'll take a damage and see if they play something better. Ah, that's just trouble. So if they're going to do that, I'll go ahead and kill this then. Oh, they're not even going to do it. I thought they might attack, but since they're not going to attack, we'll go ahead and do this. And now, yeah, I'm going to save it. I'll crack the map if we don't. I'm just giving myself a chance to draw the brawler here, basically. And so with no brawler, now we'll crack. We're pretty evenly split. We got a lot of green in hand, though, so I'll take another forest. And Hungry Flames is an instant, so hopefully we'll find something worth flaming here. And then we get Outrider next turn, followed by Monstrous Onslaught, spreading 4 damage around. Well, I can't Hungry Flames that, but I'm not super disappointed to see it. Heart. Next turn we have Heart plus Hungry. That's cool. Onslaught has funny wording, but it's so that even when you put this on the stack, if they remove your Outrider before it resolves, you still get the 4 damage to spread around, right? I'm not going to use it now, though. We're going to do our play that I mentioned. I should just... We don't... yeah, I'll get some energy in case that comes up. But Heart and Hungry is great. I could have attacked first, but it's not like they were going to chump. Ouch. Now we're just waiting. Clearly I need to shave some more lands. Look at this. I'm just joking, though. I mean, the reality is that I think it's all pretty overblown. The difference between 16 and 17 in terms of actual real live game results is not that much, gang. It's really pretty small. This is going to be okay if we can get our Onslaught online, because we can just kind of kill everything. People are asking about that. I've got Untapped up, like it's up for me. Like maybe, I mean, I don't know. The Companion should be open, but maybe don't have it properly open, because I did have a restart. So let's see if that helps. Does that help? It is a bit of a cop-out. I acknowledge that, your ad here, because if you can find absolute correct, I'm in for absolute correct. But the slippery slope you're talking about, I'm not going under 16. Like, I'm not, like, because 2 lands is significantly different than 1 off, right? So that's where I'm at. All right, Brawler, I like... we could Brawl and Crew and Onslaught, so let's do that. Yes, most individual decisions have a small impact. That's a good point. Here's a one of the times I didn't express, I just expressed incredulity, but I didn't get actually angry. But there was a programmer, high up programmer at Wizards of the Coast, one of the senior guys, who was like, Magic's all luck. You just play cards and you see who wins. And he really believed it. I'm like, how are you working on this game with that attitude? Like, have you watched the Pro Tour? It's just lucky that Luis Scott Vargas and Paulo and Name Your Greats are constantly at the top of the... Anyway. Right. And it's fine for you to be that as a random member of the Magic community trying to make yourself feel better about being a crappy-ass Magic player. But when you're one of the lead architects of Magic's digital systems, and that's your opinion, you need to rethink, buddy. I mean, it's about, okay, for example, if a senior artist, if an art director wanted to tell me it was all about luck, I would shrug it off. But you're a freaking coder. You should be logical and math-oriented and systems-oriented and data-oriented. Like, look at the data, you dummy. I'm going to say call it a lifetime run of bad variance, because certainly it's just a game of luck, and it's not that he's a crappy Magic player. Right. I mean, that's what I've always said. That's what I should have done. That's a great... I was talking earlier about how you have confrontations that you think of what you should have said later, and that's... I like that. Now I wish I could go back in time and be like, yeah, you're right. Magic is all luck, just like coding is all luck. I could just sit down and hammer out a bunch of brackets and blah-de-blah, and if you just put enough brackets and spaces in, it becomes code. I don't know what the big deal is. I'm going to hold off on Sculptor. It can't get through the Skygate, and it can't crew the Heart, so there's no real point for this to hit the board right now. Yeah, it's crew 3. Exactly. Yeah, that's why I said this is not a bomb. It is not a bomb. I took it first because of its colorlessness and its ability to be played in any deck with a nice density of 3-powered creatures, which we have. This is one I spec'd on a bit. It was just practically fell to bulk mythic levels when it rotated, so I picked some up. Maybe it'll stay bulk, but it was valuable to people at some point. All right, so let's take out the flyer. I guess we have so much mana. I'm just going to untap first, though. Now we can Seed Sculpt and Judge and Heart, so that's cool. I like that. Don't love drawing yet more land, but we do have Harness Lightning up, which is not nothing. That Magic is all luck story reminds me of I play at my buddy Adam's a lot, and he hosts sometimes up to 2-pod Magic drafts at his house, and one of the regulars there is a physics professor, and when I did we were squaring off, and I held up a die. We were just doing open. I was like, I started to roll a die. I said, even, odd or even. I said to him, right? That's what I do to suggest deciding who goes first. And he said, I don't do odd or even. I never win. And I kind of almost exploded at him. It's like, you're a physics professor telling me that the dice care about you? You're a physics professor telling me that when you toss that die, it knows who you are and wants to punish you? Oh yeah, Speedway Fanatic is a little better for the hasty stuff. You're right. Let's do that. I'm too busy in story time. I was incredulous. I really couldn't believe it. I will kill this now. So I kind of was like, very, like I said, very incredulous. Like, I can't, like, this is, you can't be serious that you think that the dice are against you. And to his credit, like, he pushed back against me in the moment and was like, that's just what I do or whatever. And then the next time we played, he held up a die and said, odd or even. And I was like, oh, he's like, he's you know what? You were right. The dice, I was being silly. The dice are not against me. Random is random. Let's go. So kudos to him, by the way. I'm not going to name names, but if he happens to be watching, I was really impressed by that, because I was pretty, like, you know, and some people, like, I don't know anybody like this, but sometimes when people are called out for a questionable decision, they dig in. They dig in and defend their decision against logic to the contrary. I'm not like that. But I was really impressed that that also this guy was not, and he actually changed his behavior based on our conversation and acknowledging that, yeah, I'm being silly. I'm just being superstitious, and I'm a physics professor being superstitious. Come on. I killed the flyer because I wanted Oppo to scoop. I was like, I bet if I kill this flyer, Oppo just gives up on the spot, and I was right. But is your friend a physics professor? All right, what are we doing first? Either chaser or ramp? Probably just ramp, and then we can chase with lightning up on, or just power out an outrider. Wow, another deck with a turn 2 era of innovation play. My heuristic is play the ramp, right? I mean, you want to max out. You want to max out how much value you get out of something rampy, so you gotta ramp early. I do love this card. Great, fun build around. And I don't think of it as a blue-white card. I think of it as a blue-green or blue-red or generally a teamer card. But it's a very fun build around. Double lightning is pretty good. I'm going to drop a second mountain, and we're still going to go outrider mode. And I'm going to go 4/4. I think a 4/4, the 1/1 isn't going to be doing much for us right here. Yeah, that's a good point too. We have cards that care about power and cards that care about +1/+1 counters. Oh, preferred way to roll is fine. Honestly, there's only one answer to the best way to determine who goes first in a game of Magic, and that's the Brian Wong way. I don't know if he invented it or just adopted it, but the Brian Wong way is certainly correct. I'll get to that in a second. With the Harness Lightning available, we're just going to crack in and see what they want to do and blow up any double blocks. And we won't be able to leave the lightning up, but I like Kieran Chaser here. Sure. Like, I can be irrational and illogical and superstitious at times too, but I was somewhat part of it is that, like, because he specifically turned me down. Like, it's one thing to be like, I don't prefer that method, or here's how I like to do it, or whatever, but when I'm offering up a perfectly legitimate way to decide who goes first that I like, and you're like, no, and your reasoning is complete nonsense, then you're going to hear it from me. Anyway, the Brian Wong way is to come up with a category. Two good ones are, what's his favorite, like, best name for a rock band, or best name for, like, come up with a naming scheme, like rock band name, movie title, like what's the best metal. I'm going to pick two cards out of here, and you just draw cards randomly from your sideboard. So, okay, so what's better? A better metal band name, Spire of Industry or Life from the Loam? Which one? And then you both players have to agree, and I think it's pretty clear, right? I think it's Spire. I think it's Spire of Industry. So whoever had Spire of Industry would go first. Sorry, Oppo, I'm being a little chatty today. A lot of roping. Now, I really want to attack with the Chaser. I don't need to crew the heart here because we're still attacking with 4, and I actually want them to try and interact because we have such good answers. So I'm going to send Chaser and Outrider, and again, see what they want to do. Well, maybe the Chaser doesn't. They can crew the Skiff, and then I just have to pick off the Skiff. So as long as I'm okay with, like, we're using removal on the Skiff, this is fine. And I'm fine with using it on the Skiff. Ah, that's nice too, Mike. That's very good. Very good. I kind of want to do that. Sparks can do 5. Lightning, I'm going to do Lightning since it's the Exacxies, right? This could get something bigger, so we'll hold it for later. And Assistant is doing some stuff here, but it doesn't really matter as long as we're staying aggressive. They can get something back, and we'll take care of it. Well, I mean, that's the point of this thing, right? Is to get something better back. It's just that it didn't do too much. It just basically saved him some life and did a rebuy. Yeah, that's fair. The Era likes it. Coffee's gone. That's why it's a fun build around. They built themselves a draw 3. I love it. You're wanting to kill the 1/1 to do what? Pick off their 1/1 with Lightning to buy an extra activation of Chaser. Yeah, that's fair. I see what you're saying. Mike is observing that since this creates 3, if we kill a 1-drop with it, we have 2 left over for another 1/1. And while picking off a 1/1 maybe isn't what you want to do with the Lightning in the abstract, the bonus 1/1 could make it the right move. Get enough servos, then you're having your servos crew the heart. Servos have trouble getting through on these boards anyway, and then 1 more servo and we can be attacking with these 2 and crewing the heart with the rest. And I don't see... Yeah, we can't pick it off right now. We could do it on our turn. I should have done it in response if I was going to do it, I guess. But let's see what we draw. Hub says my choice doesn't matter too much in that case. And we can still spark the skiff if we want to do that. So now if we go, we could... Still can't crew unless I don't send the chaser, and I want to send the chaser. Yeah, that's a good point, Mike. Things have changed. I think we just do the same attack, though, and although, yeah, now the skiff... Now we've got two things that the chaser can't attack into, so maybe we just start... go ahead and crewing Heart with it. Until there's a better attack. I don't want to use the removal on these weaker creatures just to create attacks when we can create viable, solid attacks without it. Toolcraft is another card I spec'd in at the end of its run in Standard when it was a bulk card. So I have a bunch of Toolcrafts and foil Toolcrafts that I got for next to nothing. They might stay worth next to nothing, but there's a world in which this becomes a real card, and my next to nothing Toolcraft exemplars become, you know, $2, $3 Magic cards that I can resell. I mean, it is what I'm not just messing around. I do sell stuff. Go check it out. Trying to get up to... There's a threshold at which I get to use TCG Player as kind of my own storefront, and then I can link you directly to that. Right now, I kind of got to link you to a seller, and it's a little awkward, but hopefully we'll get there. Yeah, what is this about? I don't know what's coming, but we've got removal to answer. Something's coming from hand. What? This is it? You're just doing this? All right. Feels like... good for us. Yeah, impeccable timing after damage could have been interesting because then my responses wouldn't have mattered. Yeah, maybe they have some answers and they're trying to just buy a little time. But if you're trying to buy time, I don't know. 2 chumps. I would maybe let the Trampler go through and just chump the flyer then. Margaret declined the job she got offered. She's still looking. It was really nice and a very validating experience to get offered a job so quickly, but it's not the job she wants, so. Thanks for asking, D. Harness Lightning doesn't get there yet. Sparks does, though, so should we just spark this thing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, right? Yeah. Yeah, most people don't know the full control dealio there. Man, we've been flooding a lot with this 16 land deck. I'm kidding, again. I'm probably playing it pretty greedy here to be 16 lands, but it's working out so far. Oh, actually, this can attack again. Never mind. Read the board, Ryan. But maybe it's still best. It's more damage. Yeah, we don't have the energy thing. Well, we could do the energy play, though. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Let's try the energy play. What are you talking about, D? You're now making no sense whatsoever. Like, why would I be on like? I told you I'd switch my streaming schedule if I got a job. I don't know what you were talking about. Oh yeah, right. We tried. Right, that happened to me too, Mike. I think I actually got a reimbursement for that. I was like, I tried to do this. I did everything. I set the stop and it didn't work. Give me my buy-in back, and they did. So if that ever happened to you, you can report that. I'll sandbag the land here. Oh yeah, I need to get back to D won some booster packs on Jamie's stream and asked Jamie to send them to me, which is really kind, D, but is it's just now I got to do some coordination work with Jamie. I don't want to have her mail me 10 booster packs. Is that the question, D? Why is that the question? Why are you asking me that question? When I told you that if that were the case, I would tell you, right? Do you remember that, D? Do you remember me saying? In the event that I am actively looking for a job, I'll let the stream know. But you just like to chat to hear yourself chat. Or you have a terrible memory, which I can relate to. Oh yeah, I can pull that. Thanks. Oop, gone. I know, despite the massive flood from stuffing this deck full of lands we got there. I should update the record. We're not at 0-0. We got 2 to the good. Congrats on that win, though, D. What was the format? Was it like Forgotten Realms draft? What was the sitch that got you a tournament win? Easy keepsy. Little too much land for the early game, but we'll get there. No, this is actually perfect. I love it. Like, we have everything we need to get a Tiger out on 4 right now, and if we happen to draw a land or 2 along the way, we actually have other stuff to do, so this is looking good. 3 straight turn 2 era of innovations. 3 straight turn 2 era of innovations from our opponents. That's weird, gang. It's weird. Brawler is cool, but I'm going to stick with my philosophy here and go Druid and get the ramp going. And then next turn we have Harness Lightning, Brawler, and the turn after, Tiger. That seems great. Yeah, it's true. I need to find a song called Era of Innovation, Era of Innovation, Era of Innovation. Somebody write a really good one, quick. Now that we have missed our opportunity to cheat out a Brawler, I'm going to crack the map. Get a red. Awesome, that sounds good, D. And Gratz on the win. Way to represent. She knows I foisted you upon her. They got us, but we got a Lightning and we got a Tiger next turn, so I'm still liking our spot. I'm going to somewhat telegraph here and say no attacks. But I do want to be able to Lightning before we untap. Yeah, let's see. So they're going to get the one for free, and then they don't get enough to get another one. So that's cool. We'll pick off the Virtuoso. We'll get one Thopter out of it, but that's not a bad deal for this card. This card can go off. Oh, I should have killed... never mind. That was my bad. I had a chance to kill it. Yeah, sorry. I've just... that. My bad, gang. Although, here's the thing. I think this was a mistake. I think I should have just not let it happen. But there's they might not even take it. There's an argument that... well, I'm going to let them pay. Like, whatever. They can't get 2. They've already got the 3, right? But they may want the draw 3. So they might not use it anyway. And we might actually want them to use it. Like, I think I would rather have them spend 3 on a 1/1 than that. I barely play standard at all, yeah. Okay, I think that's actually pretty good. Like, I'm scared of this drawing 3. I don't mind this. I mind that I didn't pay attention and I missed the choice. But I'm not super disappointed about this result, to be honest. Judge with nothing right now, but we're going Tiger anyway. And then if we draw a land, we can just double Infiltrator and try to find something down the road to give us a card off the Judge. I just want 1 card from the Judge, then I'm happy. This thing's busted. Super busted. I'm gonna not pump. And if they want to crew and trade with our Tiger, please crew and trade with our Tiger. Please crew and trade with our Tiger. Please? No? Oh, Oppo's smart. Well, they powered it out to the extra cards anyway. Look at all this extra cards. Okay, Sculptor is going to set up Judge, and we can throw this on the Tiger and have good attacks. Or we throw this on an Infiltrator and have 2 reasonable attacks. What do you think? 5/5 Tiger or 4/3 Infiltrator? Yeah, I suppose 4/3 makes more sense because let's say we made this a 5/5. They still play another assembler and we're trading 1 for 1 anyway, right? So given the double block, why go for size, right? Or 1 thing bigger. We'll make a Infiltrator bigger. Draw a card before we attack. And okay, if they're gonna crew, I guess I'll take the action and make them, well, we'll see what they want to trade with, but I'll take the action anyway. Because they could still double block, but that's fine. Definitely want the Express dead. Hey, Faz Dog. Info's on the bottom of the screen, but we are playing Kaladesh Remastered, best of 1, and we're currently 2-0. Yeah, that's fair. Maybe I should have said, we do have a Harness Lightning. So it's probably a mistake. But we did keep the 4/3. I mean, if we didn't do that, they could have double blocked, but maybe we're okay with that too. Yeah, there's another one coming up too. Hey, well, there we go. We got there anyway. And it matters. Matters a lot here. We're gonna use this energy to lightning this assembler so that we can get our 3 powers through. Yeah, another one next week. I forget, someone will tell you the format. I can't remember right now. I'm in for this too. They could double block and kill one, but why not? Go ahead. Yeah, if they're going to double block and kill one, they're going to double block and kill this, right? They've got a 4/4. Are we wide enough is the question. And we can chase this so that our Rhino can get bigger, but we don't really want a bigger Rhino. If we swing in, they block the 3, or we activate this and they block this instead. And then we get 1, 2, 3, 4 in. They go to 2. And then we have enough wide to get through 2 assemblers next turn. If they can cast 3 creatures, which they might, then we have trouble again. Also, they might gain life, so there's that. It's a tough spot, whether or not to just keep getting wide or go for the attrition damage as we lose creatures. I'm going to play this and give us that option. And we can get him to 1 if I spend the Rhino money. Yeah, let's do it. I think getting him to 1 and spending on Rhino is worth it. Because they can go back to 2, maybe 3 if they play 2 artifact creatures. But we really make them have it. And I like making them have it. And they could. This card right here could still get us, but they... And is it 2... Okay, so no, we don't have it. We don't have it. They can kill something because they got 2 artifacts now. That's interesting. Potentially sets us up for Armorcraft trading off for one of these. But then they would just kill it, so that doesn't make sense. We actually need to go spread out long and wide, given the underhanded designs. So Seed Sculptor pumping up like Druid makes some sense, or really even just another Seed Sculptor or itself. And we're still kind of up against it. If this is a land and this is a land, we win. But if they can find some action, we're maybe not even advantaged here. But we can't really attack into that, given the underhanded designs. Although we could make them use it, and then they stop gaining life off of playing artifacts, so that's real. But they haven't snap played something here. That gives me some hope. I mean, they're a diamond player that hasn't just snapped off a new play. So maybe this is them trying to find out how not to lose to our crackback. I'm just saying maybe, being hopeful. Instead, it's the 27 self-assembler deck. Wowie. Tiger is a great pickup here. But I don't know if we can attack this turn. I think we play the Tiger. Yeah, it's a bold thing to play this many 5s, but if you can start the chain going, and they also didn't seem to be punished with that, like they actually went and fetched all the other 3, like they chained them together. The trouble with 4+ self-assemblers is when you get 2 in your hand before you've cast the first. But even then, whatever, you got 4 4s for 5. That's not the worst. If we send in, they block 3, and we don't get there around. Like big, 2 damage is not enough. No attacks. Oh, that is so rough. Like, now we kind of need to win next turn, or we're not going to get there. Ugh. Good job, Oppo. Thought we were drawing well, but Oppo's drawn better. And we just don't have anywhere to go. Yeah, I'm just waiting for Oppo to brick, and they're just not. And we bricked, though. Hard to complain when Oppo's staring at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 lands, and you're only staring at 6. So in a sense, we're +4 on action this game, but they're +3 on self-assemblers. So, yeah, it is time to make them do something about the Tiger. We don't pump it, though, right? Because that just forces the kill anyway. I don't think it was swing all, though. Maybe it was Fenor. Maybe I'm playing this crappy. But yeah, that's the thing. I just feel like design is the problem here, so I'm going to decline. It felt like we couldn't, but this is a start. Man, this is rough. Four eras in 3 games now. Outrider, welcome. Got to go for the 4 again to make them use their removal or trade. Going wide is all well and good, but 4 power is so important against these 4/4s. No, yeah, that would be nice, finding the Monstrous Onslaught. We've also got a Chandra's Revolution and a Welding Sparks, although Welding Sparks doesn't do it because we have no artifacts right now. Heart of Kirin would be fine. Give me that. Oh my gosh, D. I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm sure you're vaccinated, or I shouldn't say that. I hope you're vaccinated. Are you? Because if you're vaccinated, it shouldn't be as severe. But that's terrible to hear, D. I hope you recover fully. Which, again, if you're vaccinated, you probably should. I hope so. Okay, we found another creature. That's good, but let's check our... I think we got to start assuming blanks here. So let's assume a blank, and design kills our 4/4. Block. Yeah, still not there. So playing this. Yeah, we can still swing 4/4, though. We can send any 4 powers we have to demand that they use their resources on it. One shot of Pfizer. Interesting. So probably some protection, but not quite as much as you'd like. Well, this has been a very cool game. Got to tip the cap to Oppo's grindy plan here. They're grinding through all this, their own flood. I acknowledge that my opponent is flooding, and I'm in the game because of that. So now, kill, eat, 4 with heart is worth it. But yeah, let's rummage first. Maybe we just get the win. Like in the deal. Well played, chat. I think we got there now. Also, oh, this isn't that one. Yeah. All right.
I do my hair toss. Check my nails.
Fat fingered my buttons. Let's try that again.
I do my hair toss. Check my nails. Baby, how you feeling?
Well, I'm not going to lie. We won there because Oppo flooded. They played a great game. Did a lot of powerful stuff, but do too much land.
Mr. Owl, how many licks does it take?
Mid-meme would be funny. But there's Owlbear at least. Nice. Got a nice sneap, and we finally got our brawler. We need to find a basic land off the top, or we don't get to do the thing. But if we do, we get to do the thing. And I'm going to start on Chaser here. If we don't get to do the thing, Sculptor onto Chaser is a very nice alternative. Oh, good point. Very good point. Hey, we got there anyway. Now we can actually think about how we want to approach it. But I'll play this. Send in. Nothing much we can get out of it beyond the discount we already had, but that's cool. And I like that you all saw that we had the play that I was thinking we didn't have without the land. And yeah, Welding Sparks as deal 5 for 3 is quite a powerful spell to have available here. I mean, this deck felt insane as we were drafting it, so I'm glad it's doing well, even though our last win was kind of variance-based from the opposite side of the table. Coca-Cola tastes awful too, says Raptor. Well, silver linings then, silver linings. I'm kidding. I'm sorry that you're having any adverse ongoing health effects from COVID. Is more a joke that, like, yesterday after stream, I have a temporary crown in right now, my third of what's likely to be 6+, and I continue to beg and plead. I should have actually put a stop on my upkeep and thin my library before drawing, by the way. Yeah, I destroyed myself in my 20s with my Coca-Cola consumption. It was my teeth. And my attitude in my 20s was, but they fix it. It's no big deal. Yeah, I know I'm getting some cavities here, but they fill the cavities and it's all fine. It's not fine. Cavities are a temporary fix. I mean, they're like a 10, 20-year fix, but it's still temporary. They're gonna fail. And then you got a mouthful of complicated holes. And you know what they do with the complicated holes in your mouth? You just lop it off and put a fake one on top. It just blows my, like, if you took away the fake stuff, my mouth would have like these gaping holes in it with little tooth stumps where I completely screwed up my life in my 20s. It makes me so mad at myself. Let's play Tiger and go ahead and get another servo. I hope you do think it's gross, so if you're younger than me, take it to heart and take care of them damn dents. It's your teeth. Believe me, it's so miserable and so expensive. I'm paying, like, no insurance covers this stuff. I'm just paying a gazillion bucks to make up for my youthful mistakes. Fair enough, Mike. And actually, if I had not played the Tiger until after combat, I would have been able to blow out that trick. Yeah. Doing okay here, but I do like Mike's observation on that. I should have especially should have kept the welding sparks up because we love our pumped up ether chaser so much. Well, 4 power, a good creature. They've shown us one of these. They might have more, but we could just pile on these less than useful creatures onto the 4/3 and try to get a trade. I'm kind of down with that. If they don't have anything else, our 4/4 with the welding sparks behind does a lot of work from here. And these creatures really don't do a lot of work from here. So I'm going to trade these for trick or creature. That's true, but they're showing low power. We can kill everything on the board with the welding sparks, even without these. So I'm going to do it. Another chaser gives us a that pump that Mike wished we had. We don't get our combat trick blowout back, but we get a tiger pump back. I don't like doing it until it wins combat that it wouldn't have won otherwise, though, so I'm going to send in without pump. Now, the risk here is that they kill our energy users and we leave 2 energy fallow, but I think it's worth that risk. I love it, Vargan. Take care of them teeth. But I got into the teeth subject because we were talking about Coca-Cola, and really I consider sugary beverages, especially Coca-Cola, to be the thing that really devastated me and my teeth in my 20s. Really devastated my teeth. I was not devastated by Coca-Cola in my 20s. It was just my teeth. Coca-Cola killed my father! Yeah, we'll keep that. Rhino with Sparks Up is a heck of an attack. If we send Chaser, we are saying we want to spend the Sparks on the Skiff. Do we? At 10, maybe so. We're just trying to close it out here. Yeah, let's do it. I think so. We can pump the Tiger and get a pump on the Rhino next turn and get... we could make a Servo, but I don't think Servo is correct. When we can just save it for straight up power pumps on our bigger creatures. So I'm going to yes this one and decline the Chaser one. And Sparks the Skiff. Interesting that they chose... I guess they're looking to chump here. That makes sense, actually. If they're going to chump, might as well use the one you like better to crew. All right, we are rolling this one. The excellent draft we had is paying off. And we're closing in on profit. Just need one more win, and we've got 2 fouls to give. Yeah, you can't chump Trample, but was there something else on the ground? Like you could chump the Chaser. I don't know, just 2 damage, I guess. Yeah, let me find it.
come out to play.
Yeah, we're getting like... We have 2 Harness Lightnings in our deck, and I think we got them both late. Maybe one was kind of early. But it feels like we were just getting wheeled Harness... Or like near wheeled Harness Lightnings, like 7th, 8th pick. All right, looks great. Map is going to come through here big time with the double Chaser into Lightning and Rhino, or Chaser into Rhino into Lightning Chaser. Woo! Woo! Pick 14 Welding Sparks. Okay, so maybe draft yourself some red these days. Rhino next into Chaser Lightning. Interesting. Carry is a nice blocker on the Chaser, of course, but we can play Rhino and stay back here. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it when it's mana efficient. Next turn we Chaser Lightning, and it's great. And we use all our mana every turn. Monkey goes and hides at the end of turn anyway. It's not like they get a free token out of it. And they may not want to block here. I mean, I'd trade Chaser for the Raider instead. Or would I? Yeah. That's one of my music memes that I've actually with First Strike we can at least see. We don't even. This is fine. Whatever. Shock with Shock the Monkey. I actually wanted it for, like, I know it's like it's some sort of goblin or something, but the monkey from there's a Shock in Ixalan that is like literally shocking like a monkey-like creature or something. Monkey, monkey, monkey. Don't you know you're gonna shock the monkey? Let's take out this and keep going. No, it was something that, it was definitely a shock, or maybe it was just like, I don't know. I'm gonna do this though. So maybe it was Lightning Strike that I was thinking of, but I just wanted to use that art in the, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't have made a servo and should just have kept all my energy for Rhino pumps. But if they kill the Rhino, then we've eggs basketed. But as usual, my biggest mistake was not even thinking about it and just kind of acting on instinct there. All right, somebody else in this world knows the value of the Ether Chaser. And yeah, we're going to make the Rhino bigger again, and we can offer the other Chaser if they would like. And then we drop a secret 1/3 that the Chaser and the Monkey can't attack into anyway. Yeah. Counter on Rhino. And honestly, I mean, nobody ever responded to my observation when we were arguing about 16 versus 17 that this deck has a Druid of the Cowl. Like, I just think that was the clincher for me. Like, this is effectively a 17th land, in the sense that 17 is what helps ensure you make your 4th land drop on time. 17 lands is not about hitting your 1st, it's about making sure you curve out to your 4th and 5th land on time. So that's why, for those considerations, I really do think of the Druid as a land replacement, even though it's killable. But this one's at least tough. Harold and Kumar go to the fair. I think if this were best of 3, I would probably go... It's still close, right? It's a close spot. Much closer, but I still think you can make that same case there, that it's like a 17th land for a best of 3 deck. And out of energy, we have a 4/5. It gets blocked by all 3, and they could kill it, but we would be able to take out their Herald and their Hawk. I'm okay with that, so I'm going to send in our 2 clean, or our 2 things that have reasonable attacks. You like Hold Rhino? I don't know. I guess that maybe I'm losing a race, then, maybe I'm being optimistic about our status in this race with the Hawk. They get, I don't know. We'll see. They could come up with something here that really puts it away for them. But if they don't, my aggression could be rewarded. I'm pretty cool with numbers myself. It's not even that big a deal. Oppo's play suggests that we're being appropriately aggressive, but let's see how they follow here. Brawler, pretty good. Tiger's very good. You can drop Tiger, and then we get a 5/6, and a 5/6 needs both Brawler and Herald to block, and if they do that, we get a 2-for-1, and if we turn our Rhino into a 2-for-1 with Tiger behind, that seems fine. Can't attack with Chaser, but I like that line. Get rid of their 3/3 and 3/2, or they have to chump, and we have a 4/4 back. Not to mention Chaser and other stuff. Are there other attacks we should consider? Like, are we, if we send everything, are we, nah, we're not sending, I'm just gonna do this. They took it because they just feel like they gotta somehow win the race here, and we'll hope. Yeah, anything that's a creature cat plays one of a handful of random sounds. Not random, a handful of random cat sounds, and one of them is just a very tiny kitty. It's kind of funny when a giant tiger goes. But it's magic, you know. It could be, that's how those tigers sound on that world. Because of, you know, magic. Oh, that's funny, Mama. Wait, which set is that from? I think my son opened a Chandra Torch of Defiance at the last time he played Magic with me, which was a while ago. Is whenever that set was. Is this one? Yeah. So like what? How many years ago now? Profit, baby. 5-0 feels good. Yeah, Tron. We were really impressed. I mean, it was Tune Yards, and like it's a Seattle indie rock band. You know, like basically we didn't see anybody in the whole place that was not respecting the mask mandate, the mask requirement for that venue, I should say. We play for theoretical profit when it comes to the memes, Mike. I'm not going to give myself a profit meme because I entered an event. Well, we need one more land here, but this is a fine start otherwise. Chaser into Genius, into Monitor, doing a rummage if we need to. Yeah, by the way, it was an insano show. She does so much looping, and there's only 3 people, and the sound was so huge because of how she loops her own she'll start a song and loop some vocals of herself so that she can sing over herself for the rest of the song, but it's not recorded. She's just looping it live. It's real, and I get almost like I get nervous at Fish shows because I know the boys are making it up as they go along, and like I want it to be good, and sometimes it's not as good as others, and like I get this anxious like, oh, is this gonna go? And like that's exactly how I feel watching Tune Yards live, because she's just so busy. She's just like touching, and it's like, oh, yeah, is this Yeah, we got Tiger and no need to Servo, I agree. Servo can't get through the construct, and we have other things to do, including Lightning and Tiger. Mike is correcto. Oh, except I was a misclick. I was just that was like a twitchy finger. That was not even me, like I didn't even mean to click there. It just, for great comedy. We definitely don't want to make a Servo, says Ryan, making a Servo. I was not trying to, gang. We're going to win anyway, though, okay? That's the plan. Renegades of Funk. Do we want the map? If we map, we could Genius. I don't know if we want a Genius. We probably just want to kill the Rhino and go as a starting point. And they probably trade off Construct for the Genius. And is that okay? We want to make that offer. I kind of like making that offer because then the Tiger becomes much tougher to deal with in terms of double blocks. And we can map and harnessed. The other option is just not to do it. And I might send the Infiltrator away looking for land. I think that makes sense. Let's do that. This is a medium creature. And I want more land, and I want better removal. Yeah, there we go. That looks great. Much improved. You know what? I'll even offer the Servo. If you want the Servo for 3 extra damage and not trading with a Genius, I think I'm okay with that. And it's a plain free offer. Punish me for my mistake. We should have 2 energy and not this Servo anyway, so take it. Oh, it is super tiny. I mean, the Crocodile is tiny, and Crocodile second stage is even tinier. So that is going to be an intimate experience. I didn't catch what you're seeing. And when are you going to be here? Okay, here I see. Back in Portland. Oh yeah. I missed the first part of your message. I just went into the concert part. Sweet. What are you seeing? Who are you seeing? Very curious. Let's crack this and find our land for the turn. We want another mountain. I don't know. Maybe I'll check them out. If I like them, maybe we can go to a show together. So they did take my offer, and now we've got a Flames, and we're going to do that. Yeah, geez. I mean, I kind of want to get going on the ground, but I'm not letting an aerial responder stick around when we can kill it. Look at this servo doing work, Mike. Look at that. Boom! 2 damage from the servo now. 2. Yeah, responders are awesome. Seed Sculptor is nice here. We can go Chaser Sculptor, and I can pump up this Chaser to attack through an Eagle. And if I want to, make another servo, which I'm really going to try hard not to do this time. In fact, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cast this after combat, so I can't even be tempted. Put in my own safety valves. Love it. Mini traveling for the show, right? I did that with Clara. Clara, my friend Dan, that I talk about all the time, going to concerts with, and we saw Palace. Why am I forgetting their name? Caravan Palace in Seattle, and then we drove down to Portland to hang out with my buddy and see him again in Portland. So I'm with you on that. And also, but Caravan Palace, if they're coming to your neck of the woods, just go see them. You can't not like them live. I don't think you can not like them live. Seems impossible. We're going to go Tiger here, try to get wide enough to get around this situation. Electro Swing. French Electro Swing. Caravan Palace. Try Miracle. It's on the Song of the Day playlist. No attacks, though. Yeah, getting wide with the lizard is going to help. Oppo really going nuts here with some good stuff. Nice rare. We can't quite 2-spell. But we can 1-spell and continue to try to build wide. Yeah, let me look at that attack. Hold on. There's the name of your... Here, I'll find you a... You find it. That's right. Let me focus on the game. So Mike says attack. Trample Tiger for 6/6. Yeah, it trades or... is a 1-for-1 for their 4-power flyer. It's like, well, they do have a double block 1-for-1. If it was 1-for-1 for the 6 or a 2-for-1 otherwise, I'd like it, but I don't know. Given this, let's pass and see if we can't get there on card quality down the road. Wow, Oppo with the rares. Boom, boom. This is the Mythic Uncommon. 2 rares and a Mythic. And an Uncommon Common. We're not winning a long game against Bestiary, by the way. So we got to find a way through here. Death Touch has no activate. Oh, no, never mind. It does. Sorry, it does. Never mind. So they can't 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But this is like 7. So like effectively 2 creatures get through, but one of them is probably the Weld Fast. So we get Weld Fast plus a 1/1. We could do 4 damage here. And then Infiltrator is effectively a 5th. But then we don't, I guess, and Tiger says if you double block, we kind of win. And if you double block and we can actually go wide, we could actually make at least 1 more servo for next turn. So I think I don't have it exactly worked out, but my baseline thinking here, gang, is that first I don't know, I should keep land. We have looting, but Bestiary is not going to be a winner for us long term. We're going to lose to this in a long game, and I think with the Weld Fast Monitor on Menace, the Tiger on 6/6, and adding a servo to the board, an attack all is good enough to try. Oh, is the looter dead? Okay, so that didn't matter, but I'm just trying to do heuristics that make sense. That's right, we traded it off early. Ooh, interesting choice. Death Toucher gets anything, so maybe we want the Death Toucher gone. Did I miscalculate? I think I miscalculated what was going to happen here. But this is okay, I think. Adding the Infiltrator especially. That's true. Death Toucher already gets everything anyway. So somewhat desperation here, but this is making us desperate. Lifecrafter's Bestiary is not a card you're going to win in a top deck long game. You're just not. So let's try and get it done. This is what I mean. Look at this. Value, value, value. It's like every creature they have has ETB draw card now. How you beat that? Well, getting them dead before their advantage pays off. We need a top deck, though. That is which is to say, like, action. So I'm glad we found action. This is a safe attack. They have to trade something for it, and we get the damage in. So let's send that in, and then play the Brawler. Trample could be relevant here. I doubt they're sending the Eagle. Oh, no, never mind. Yes, they are. Jesus. How about they're sending everything? Gut Punch, Oppo. But, I mean, they're top decking, but that's the Bestiary in action. They get to scry and draw. It's just insane. Yeah, I agree, D. I'm not sure why they were so eager to get in with the Eagle when all they need to do is sit behind a Bestiary and they'll win. But people are people, so why should it be? Yeah, Servo or Seed Sculptor. Like, Sculptor is not much better than a Servo. Servo has some interactions with our cards that would help us kill a Renegade, for example, so I think we do it this way. Although this is just temporary buff, right? So this will shrink back down. Anyway, I still like giving up a Seed Sculptor here over the Artifact. Brutal, though. I think we've lost this without an amazing top deck. At 7, facing 2 Gigantor Flyers. Even when they shrink, they're big. 4/4, 3/3. We're Exacxies in the air. Very occasionally, I think of things that Mike doesn't sometimes. Didn't matter in this case, though. We did. I guess we make them block the brawler correctly, which is to say throw the mechanic under the bus. We've had a great run so far, and Oppo's deck is fantastic, so no shame here. This is reasonable, though. I mean, this kind of gives us a chance.
Your friend here is only mostly dead.
More rares. I think we passed that one at some point. Not that we're playing in pot or anything. Nice deck, Oppo. Nice deck. It took a deck that good to finally disrupt our run. I mean, Bestiary's a cube card. Any modern players out there in paper modern players? I have really dug through my stuff, and I'm going to list a bunch of modern staples. How about check this out? On any of these, we got. I'm trying to fan these in a way that's useful, but it's hard. Anybody? Anybody want some of these? They're all going up soon. No green yet, but lightning and flames and genius make me want to keep this, especially on the draw. Sorry, forgot I switched. More red. I don't know what your problem is with good memes, Rob. Give a guy a free meme and he starts clearing his throat at you. What a jerk. I like spending my mana, but I don't know about Swooper as a target. I'm going to say, what do you think? What are you doing, Mike? You killing this thing? Feels underwhelming to use removal on, but we do have backup. And backup. And if so, I probably should have done it before Servo, but they used energy. It's not the worst. I guess since they could... well, Sirian, I don't want to compound the mistake, but clock is running out here, so... well, they can continue to have energy. It doesn't matter. Like, we are where we are. The question is... I'll just take it here. Like, they may play something right here that we want to get, so we'll probably kill something else. Okay, puzzle knot, fine. Fine. For a 1 point of damage, we waited, but now I am going to fire it off, because we're not going to have this available next turn. And we do have significant removal behind. Hey, our green. Very nice. I mean, we still need one more for these two, but at least we got to start on it. Sculptor is going to set us up for a judge that can draw. Flames the Chaser continue to just take out their... we could also just... Actually, let's put a counter on the Genius. And if they want to trade both of these for the Genius, I'm okay with that. And let's see if they want to do that or not. I bet they'll leave that. I'll bet they'll just take it or chump. 4-3 and pass. Mike doesn't want them to get more more servos. I'm just trying to be... I think I don't mind the servos because we just onslaught them away. Are you afraid of that? You don't want them to trade? Are you not okay with trading Chaser for 1/1 and counter? Or are you thinking that you want to just play defense? I'm just saying, yeah, sure. It would be nice to draw off the judge, but I'm predicting my expectation is that they don't block. But I'm asking you why you're on defense for a turn. Do you not want them to make more servos? Is that the scary thing? Like, why don't we want to race? Are you afraid of them trading, or are you afraid of them servoing? Or I say afraid, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm gonna send. That's my gut says send. And if because our worst case here is that they offer both of those creatures for that, or they get some attack in that that we don't like. But I don't mind them spending the Chaser mana, given the onslaught in hand. We need another green, but if we get an onslaught, we can pick off all of this. Not that that's the dream use of the thing either, but we did find it. We could just Tiger, though. Maybe they don't want to... I'll send in the Sculptor and Tiger for now. Another thing we can do is attack in, make it a 6/6, and when they don't hopefully block, Monstrous Onslaught with 6. More worried that they have removal and still get in Chaser if we hold back, where they leave us the Armorcraft draw when the... Yeah. I see. Well, they got that anyway. I'm gonna go judge now. Is this not... Did they freeze this? Oh, they froze it with that. Yeah, got it. So we judge and draw. That's cool. Really sad we didn't get our 6/6 Onslaught play done. That kind of would have been GG, I expect. Nerve-wracking attack. What does this mean? I'm going to call the bluff, though. Let's try and get rid of the Chaser. If we get a card in hand instead, that's not the worst with the Onslaught behind. We still have 4-power Onslaught we can fire off, no problem. So I kind of like using a card from hand. And actually, that's good. Now they can't respond with that to Onslaught, and now we have a much better target for that anyway. So all told, pretty good. And we could go Onslaught, bing, 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 and then get the champ with Flames. Or bing, bing. Yeah, maybe that's correct. But how do we want this? Do we need this dead immediately? They're out. They get a counter. One counter we can still flame. So yeah, I actually like that. The double strike, we're at 10 though. All right, with 10, I'm not going to mess around. Yeah, you're right, Rob. We're too low on life. If we were like 20 life, we could, but we can't play around with that. So we'll go bing, bing, bing. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's fine. And now we're not going to attack at 10 life. I mean, I could get him to 19, but I'd rather the Sculptor threaten these servos. Hey, that's actually great given the Outrider behind. But actually, I'm going to wait on the Outrider and just go Infiltrator Chaser here. 2 blockers. Looking good. Stomper is real. So is instant speed damage with the first striker, though. So I'm going to go Sculptor on the Infiltrator. Swing away. And then I can Outrider after combat if they don't block with the Stomper. And I'm going to decline. We'll telegraph that we like our hand, but so be it. So we could Flames 1, but actually I'd rather take this trade, drop the Outrider, and have a board that puts them in top deck mode despite our life gap. It puts us ahead. That's fine. I had a plan for them taking it. You never know. So, like Rob says, they just take it. But Rob, you've seen it many times, right? Where they're just going to take this, and then what, they blocked, right? So you give them a chance to screw up when you have a backup plan, which we do. No reason to double block because the remaining creatures couldn't pick it off if they have something for this anyway. All right, looking good for the home team, even with that land draw. We're just going to pick this off right away, of course, and crack in. And heck, now servos are looking good. Oh, that's right. I was like, oh, we still have this. Nice. We'll hold that for the next servo. Not that we have one, we don't have any energy, but... Pummeler gets plus... Okay, if they want to double up... well, they can pay it any number of times, though, right? So they can do this 3 times. Does it have trample? It doesn't have trample. But we are at a spot where they kind of start eating our things, either that we send at it or... Although, I think the Chaser is still a nice attack because they got to activate this twice to not lose to the Chaser. At 16, though, I don't like suiciding in these. These are our chumps in case they come back with that threat of huge... Yeah, that's true. We can make another servo. Good call. Thank you. Hammer has my back on this play because we still have the Genius. We want to get rid of this. And we want to keep getting wide and or making chumps if somehow the Pummeler starts to look like it. Ooh, it's going to do the thing. Now we can get 3. Yeah, that's actually good. If they go for the triple, on the third activation, we fire off the lightning and hit it for 2. Or hit it for... Oh, no, yeah. No, it's not the best yet, but it's a good start. You see what I'm saying? So, like, with 3 activations, they go 2 on the first, 4 on the second, and then we're already out of range. Ugh, and now they're just monstrous. Yeah, first strike, that's a good point. We do combine with first strike damage, but now it's got 5 activations. Wow. This thing, to do its thing, becomes very vulnerable to our lightning. I'm going to send in the 2 chasers again. maybe it's time to start sending all... No, I'm going to do this again. Start making them use the energy. Well, yeah, we'll kill something here. We just got to make them use energy one way or another. But the nice thing is we can harness lightning for 1 here and get away with the trick. I don't know if there's a fling in the format. Yeah, we now have another servo rummage too for that forest. Fling is usually in standard. I just don't know if it was in this set. Or a fling variant. All right. And scry to the top, rough. Tiger, not rough. Yeah, the top deck wasn't that good, I guess. Woo! Still rolling. 1 stumble, but closing in on the trophy. Oh, maybe the deck name should have been Chat is Revolting. That would have been a better... I might have to change the deck name to Chat is Revolting. Hey everybody, our deck's good. This is so beautiful.
They should have said the poet.
Chase on 2 to Brawler on 3 if our chaser lives. Ooh, maybe we have to change our plan. Well, I'm going to play our chaser. If they attack with theirs, then we still have our play. If they don't, we may have to go with Harness Lightning on our 3rd turn. Interesting, Siran. I haven't heard him talk about that, but that makes sense. Focus on what it can't do to breed creativity. And also to get your characters in trouble, right? To understand how to get your characters in trouble, you got to understand what they can't do. Nothing to stop our attack, please. Yeah, they might double block if we send in here. Oh, but this actually makes it huge. Never mind. So, yeah, Oppo with a sweet deck that's mucking with our awesome opener. So now we're going to look towards building up energy. We can just take out this now, though. Should we do that? Yeah, I do love the goggles if you've got the artificers. I thought we had a nut draw, but Oppo's out nutting us. Yes. We do have a bunch of 2s, so we can at least 4 or double 2 next turn. Theorist really has already done its job. Like, this is not a great place to put the removal, but it does... Well, I'm going to play a land, and then with the removal being instant speed, let's just pass. We do give them a chance to have mana available, but I intend to block with the Chaser here, so maybe we'll get some sort of trick blowout by with our intention to block. Nice, Siriana. Love it. Glad you're reading that book. Kaladin's storyline is my favorite. So they are saying they don't have tricks. Nothing really to blow out here unless we want to trade Chaser for Chaser with our Chaser behind, because we're going to chase with a Chaser. So we trade our Chaser for their Chaser, given that we're going to chase with the Chaser, then we can chase the win. Yeah. It was pretty clear to me they don't have a response, so they would have sent, you know, this other stuff. Now. Yeah, Dalinar is a very complex character. I feel like I should lightning something, and these are equivalent now. I mean, they're the same thing. I guess, you know, if they did shenanigans, I'd rather do them shenanigans here than here. So I'm going to do this. Although here, this makes them move it, but this is just going to go in. This is not going away. And if I go here, we save a couple energy. So we'll choose the one that takes up less energy, but doesn't require them to move equip around. Nice. This gives us Chaser, Sculptor onto Chaser for a decent first striker. It's not enough for a Thopterus yet, but I'm also not going to not play the Sculptor, and I don't want to make a 2-3. 2-3 is not better than a 3-2 first strike. Her plan sounds awful, but it's a legit, right? It is awful, but I believe Sanderson sets up very well. I don't know where you are exactly, but I totally buy it by the end of why she did what she did the way she did it. This is an offer of a 1-for-1. Totally playing to her outs. I mean, the book is just great because all the characters have interesting stuff going on. The main trio of Kaladin, Dalinar, and Shallan. But yeah, Shallan's desperate situation is really interesting. Hey, now, that's something. However, we could throw a counter elsewhere. What about sending the Chaser? They don't block. We get a servo. Then we play a Sweatworks Brawler. Next turn we sculpt that to get a 4/4 Menace. You like Judge, try to find land. I'm getting greedy with a Judge, and I'm imagining multiple draws off our Judge, Mike. Maybe I'm being too greedy at 10 life against all this air support, though, and we need to get to the Onslaught. That's a fair point as well. So I think as I look at our actual life totals instead of look at our ability to try to control the board, I like Mike's line. And there's the land we wanted. Could still send, and maybe I should have done that pre, but now, yeah, still send, right? Because we have a blocker. We're worried about, well, first strike on the ground. I'd trade it. Send makes servo, but then they get this as an attacker on our board in our weak situation. I'm going to say no attacks. We're trying to do a big removal play and then crawl back in this, so I like defensive hold here. Kind of want to get them to activate the skiff if possible and pick that off with the onslaught. If you're a Sanderson fan and you didn't know this about him, on his website, he's the most transparent author ever. He actually has a little box on his website that shows exactly what he's working on, exactly how close to finished it is. It's just amazing. You can see exactly what's going on in his creative life. That's true. The skiff would take up our entire onslaught as it sits. We could go all the servos, at least. They're doing it, though. Goggle upgrade. I understand they're looking for a 2-turn clock here. Makes total sense, which is why Mike's line was correct. And have the 3/3 back in case something. But yeah, we need to stay on the ground like this. So let's get the. And since they move this off, we get the chaser instead of the servo. That's not the worst. Yeah, I haven't read the Sanderson run on Wheel of Time because I bounced off that series. But I've heard things from Wheel of Time lovers that they liked his stuff the best. So there you go. Yeah, the wording is I mentioned this when we drafted it, but it has this strange wording so that even if they kill, so that it doesn't matter what they do to your creatures in response, you still get what you think you get. Nothing Oppo does, like we get 3 because we cast the spell. Boom. Still on no attacks. We actually have an attack. I'm going to send the 3/3 and leave back the first striker. And if we get it removed, we might have to chump or something. But yeah, I could have swung chaser and make chump. But I like the first strike on D. Although they suit up the Thopterist, we still don't have good blocks. Looks like they're just going for the understandable skiff win anyway. Looks like they're gonna get us. We got nothing. Skiff gets it done. Good game, Oppo. Oh, right on. Good call, D. Vin was Gruel. Interesting. Makes sense. You know, she's kind of the mangy puppy that you're raised on the streets. What I want to ask him is if he borrowed the notion of a magician coming into their powers through trauma from Magic. Because in Mistborn, you don't get your powers until something traumatic happens to you, and that's also how you get your spark in Magic. Love it. Another T1 goggles to try and defeat here. Yikes. Why wouldn't you want a free equip? I sure don't understand that. Maybe it was a misclick? I don't know. Free equips seem great. Like why you run the thing. Yeah, I was, do you all know that I had dinner with Brandon Sanderson as part of my job at Wizards, and I worked out a donation for him for him to promote Magic through gifts for his fans. Making sure, so we go to 4-3. If they double block, that's fine. In fact, we have the lightning to blow it out. Yeah, dinner with Brandon Sanderson was dreamy. Planeswalkers have been a thing since Urza's block. I mean, since the beginning of the fiction of the game. I mean, Planeswalkers weren't card types until Lorwyn, but they were character types in the fiction forever, with that understanding of how they formed. I'm not a Magic story goob, but I don't know how you have 15 years of Magic storytelling about Planeswalkers and just decide on the Spark thing 15 years in. I mean, again, I'm not a goob. I'm not a story goob, so I might be wrong, but I just would have to, like, how are you writing 15 years of stories about Planeswalkers and not explaining how they became Planeswalkers? But maybe you're suggesting that they did some retconning and decided 15 years later that this is how they became Planeswalkers? It's possible. I don't know if you got my point about Oppo's choice. This is an artificer, and this equips for free to artificers, and Oppo chose not to. And now Oppo just paid 2 to equip it to the thing it should be already equipped to for free. And we'll blow that out. Yeah, I assume it was a misclick. I mean, it was strictly better to, I mean, you take free equips unless you think, unless there's some, I mean, there's been spells in Magic history that say destroy target creature and all equipment attached to target creature. I don't think there's any in this set, but it's only things like that that would cause you to not make that choice there. Yeah, I assume it was a misclick, and I bet there won't be this time. We're still looking good, though. We're flooding out quite a bit, but our card quality has been high enough to make up for that, and Oppo being stuck hasn't hurt either. We could still very much lose this game if we continue to flood out and Oppo unfloods and finds some defense, but for right now, we're going to try to press our advantage. We don't get to activate this anymore, but it's still worth killing. Okay, they're just trying to get blocks, and that does give them blocks because now they have a double block on the 3/3. They can't block both, and they're at 6 though, so we could still put them under pressure. Trade a brawler for, but we can chase and make this a 4. So let's do that, and then we can swing in and just make them make their choices. Understandable from Oppo. We're going to happily take our 4, though. And see if we can squeak our way in. Boy, I'd love... we have Hungry Flames that would just give us a win off the top. But they are starting to crawl back. So let's see if we can get that last 2 before this gets rough for us. See, this is what I mean. I told you, we might get them, but like they could unscrew and really cause us some issues. And hey, we did not draw a land. Kind of funny for me to flood out to finish the event when we were so concerned about various land counts early on. Now I can still send here. They could double block, and it's a forced chump. If they double block, they can take out our chaser for the rebel. This is never getting... Oh, sorry, no, they have a 2/4. What am I thinking about? I was thinking... actually, you know what? I think it was that I saw this enchantment here and was thinking we had, like, made it unable to block or something. We don't have attacks. Never mind. We're kind of just waiting on removal now. Double Ds, I just... Yeah, I was thinking it couldn't block because of the attachment to it. Well... Here's why our opponent is in the 6-2 bracket. Aetherstorm Rock is super tough to beat. Oh, and I've made this screw up many times this event, and I'm sorry, but when you have a Renegade map you're intending to crack on your next turn, set your upkeep stop and do it before drawing so that you thin your deck of lands. Yeah, Shooty saw it. I missed it again, but at least saying it now. Crack this. They know we have it. I'm going to run it out. Not like we don't have plenty of rummaging material here. Trample, very relevant. We'll see a lot. It depends on these 2 cards, frankly, and the top of our library. And frankly, whether we can just find our face damage for 2 before they can kill us or gain life. That's so huge for them, it's the Vigilance. If this didn't provide Vigilance, I would kind of shrug, but the Vigilance lets them shorten our clock to find our win by quite a bit. $5, $6, $10, $13. I mean, we just got to take it. Come on. We've had a good time today, Magic Gods. I've been reasonable, but nope. Like, we really needed it right then and there because we're now dead to the air. That eagle was huge. I mean, the eagle doesn't land, and we have many turns to find our way to the finish line. As it is, we're donezo. But we'll attack and make them figure it out, I guess. They should just put everything on the ground in front of it and win with their lethal in the air. But we do have 2 cards, so... Oppo no fool, though. Knows what's what. And we lose. All right, gang, we lost. The only time we lost today was to incredibly powerful decks laden with rare bombs, and plus, in this case, a little bit of variance as well. So, no salt for our 6-win run. You can't get 7 every time, even just because you have some sweet deck. And we did have a sweet deck. I felt like we saw some things we never saw, though. Like, do we see everything? I don't think do we ever cast a Revolution? Like, maybe like once? Yeah, this card was just hiding. Everything else made reasonable appearances, but that removal was hiding from us. I thought the deck was great. We found a great lane in the draft and made a nice run that would have been profitable even if the thing hadn't been free. So, very cool. And I'll skip the pack opening here. All right. Yeah, I like this a lot more than Kaladesh. I mean, honestly, it's a triple K, I realize. I wonder, they're really, Kaladesh? No, it's not, because it was my mix-up. Anyway, yeah, I like this a lot more than Amonkhet. Thank you. Heart of Kiran showed up twice, though, right? But we didn't see the heart for quite a while, but at least showed up. I just can't remember if we ever fired off the Revolution. I'm not sure we ever held that in hand. Anyway, like it better than Amonkhet, and looking forward to drafting again with y'all tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out, YouTube friends.